Welcome back to the Ginger Guild. I'm the Ginger God, and today we are going back to playing Snake. The board we will be on is the small board 5 apples category, and here I have it set up, but I set it up wrong, so let's fix it. Uh, change this one to a 5. I should have switched the B to an M, but this score is way too high for what I thought, and it's gonna throw me off, but now we have it fixed. 14,867 is the correct time that I should be beating, so let's get to it. And so far, I'm doing pretty solid. This is, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. There's not much more to say than that. And you died there, but that is a record, so now we can down it even better to 13,905. So, get back to playing, and you can see me fuck up there, and I keep going. You can see my awesome moves. It might seem easy, especially as like a 2D game, but it is a lot harder to move like this than most people think. And you know, wiggling. It's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it wiggling is a thing that I have yet to figure out how to do, and I know how to do it. The problem is being able to be consistent with it. And it's when you spam one of the up down alongside one of the left right keys. So you do this like ladder climb thing. It's a really cool technique. The problem is it's so hard to like get back from. And I know there's probably a name for it, but wiggling seems fitting for a game like this. And got a new record. And I'm not gonna lie, 3.5 hours. The first two records came in, I think it was 10 minutes. No, it was the first three records that came in 10 minutes. But after that, it took me 2 hours to beat it by less than half a second, and then another hour and a half to beat it again. And what did I do there? Did I run into the wall? I think my finger slipped and I went up. 11,205 is the time to beat. Honestly, I just want a 10 time. I just want a time under 11 seconds. I think that's pretty reasonable ask. And that one could have been good if you weren't such an idiot. And I threw in some of my failures in here because it looks really stupid when you're not playing it. Hell, it looks stupid when you're playing it. But it's so obvious, like, what you should have done. And that's one thing that I think a lot of games miss nowadays, is when someone fails at something, they need to know what is correct. They need to know what they should have done. I could have cut some time off there if I just kept going straight. I wasn't looking at the apple count, which I probably should have been. But like every time I look at the apple count, I either screw up big or run into something. But I will say, when you get down to like trying to get 10 seconds, you have to get 2.5 apples a second, which means you can basically have no dead time. Which I basically, if you don't hear the apple sound, which I can't add here because I'm an idiot and recorded wrong, and I don't want the like apple crunch sounds to be off by just like throwing in generic, like, background noise. But, like, I consider dead time to be the, like, time you're slithering around and you're not eating any apples. I mean, that's the actual definition, but more specifically, it's not the, like, 3 away. It's, like, when you have to go across the map. It's a lot more prominent in, like, 1 apple speedruns, but it's a lot more prominent in 1 apple speedruns, but it does happen here if they don't line up well, which happens quite often. But it is one of the reasons that I like the 5 apple category a lot more. The chances that you get bad apple placement are a lot lower. In fact, a lot of the times they'll spawn just right in front of you. Like right here, half of them are across the map, but you can eat some apples on your way to go get the, like, bunch of apples. That was a pretty good time, and believe me, there were plenty of fuck ups. Like I said earlier, there was, I think it said 3.5 hours. I just find it amazing how, like, in 10 seconds or in 10 minutes, I was able to set like 3 records, but like in 10 minutes, I was able to set 3 records, but I had to go another 3.5 hours in order to get the last 2. I'm hoping that it will improve, but beyond that, this is a fun game, and I really like it. So I look forward to proving that I'm the best at it. But after this, I'm going to put a short up on both of my channels to see if anyone wants me to play Crash Bandicoot, because I really want to play it. And if I get like one person telling me that they want to see me play Crash Bandicoot, I'll get, what is there, 4 games? And I'll start playing it. I like the character. I don't know much anything about the lore. And honestly, I'm just surprised that I, like, have as fond memories of it as I do. It doesn't seem like a game that I would, like, really enjoy. Actually, my friend made fun of me the other day for it, because we were talking about the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and because we were talking about the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and with the, what is it, the Batman fight, we both agree that it's a bad game. My thing is, I haven't seen a lot of good games, so my bar for what makes a good game is really low. Yeah, my bar for what makes a good game is low because, like, as compared to movies and TV shows, I've seen a lot more movies and TV shows than I have played video games, and the video games I have played don't have a lot of storytelling beats that go with them. So I give it a lot more fond of review. I also haven't gotten through the Arkham games because I'm trying to figure out how to play Arkham City. I started trying to play Arkham Knight, but it became very obvious that in Arkham Knight, you basically have to know what happened in Arkham City, or else you're missing a lot of context. It's, I know there's a saying for like movie equivalents, but I can't think of what it's called. And like when you make a sequel to something, basically when you write a story, you have several different types of audiences. You have like audiences that have seen the trailer, audiences that haven't seen the trailer, audiences that have seen the previous movies, audiences that like are big fans of the source material. Now, the numbers of these will be different, but you need to make sure when you're telling a story to cater to all of them. You're not just making a Star Wars movie for Star Wars Legends fans. You're making a Star Wars movie for people who've never seen Star Wars before, people who have seen Star Wars before, people who, I mean, the number for people who haven't seen Star Wars is insanely low, but they exist, I'm told. That was some pretty good movement. I'm sorry, my brain just doesn't like stay on topic, and I don't know why. It's not because I'm not interested. I just like I want to call it short-term memory loss because that's basically what it is. Basically, like after talking about something for X amount of time, it becomes not impossible. What's the correct word? It's happening while I'm explaining what I'm trying to talk about. Yeah, my brain just like only remembers like 20% of what I said earlier. Oh, this is really good. Like, they're spawning right in front of me. 9-3-15. And I got the record. I was aiming for sub 11. And I got sub 10. Hell, I got sub 9.5. I am great. I am a god. I am the ginger god.